Hello, everyone, and welcome to Own Your Mic, a Women's History Month Empowerment Special. We apologize. We've had some technical difficulties, but we appreciate you all's patience. I'm Zemoria, but I go by Z on my podcast entitled While We're Waiting the Podcast. However, tonight, I'm one of the proud co-hosts of this live stream conversation. Before we hear from our special guest, I want my fellow co-hosts to introduce themselves. Miss
All
Priscilla.
right. Yes, I am Priscilla Jean-Louis, and I am the host of the Caregivers Corner podcast. And I'm also a caregiver of my mom now. My grandmother passed away about almost 2 months ago now. So I'm a caregiver of one instead of two, but that's who I am. I am the momager to the next young lady who will introduce herself, but that's me, Priscilla Jean-Louis.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kaylin Jean-Louis. So happy to be on tonight. I am the host of the KCK Inspiring Moments with Kaylin live radio show and podcast. I am very happy to be here tonight, and I thank you, Zemoria, for thinking of me as a co-host.
Hi, everybody. I'm Paula DeBoles-Johnson. I am the mom of this amazing young person, and I'm happy to be here with you tonight. I'm actually employed with Leon County government. I have a small nonprofit here in the city, Capital City Youth Development Corporation, and I am also running to be your next county commissioner for Leon County Commission District 5. Thanks for having me.
Yay! I'm so excited again. And the purpose of tonight is to inspire, encourage all women of ages to use their voices, their mics, to make a difference in their homes, workplaces, and communities. So, Kaylin, what does owning your mic mean to you?
To me, I think owning your mic is simply getting ready for the occasion, making sure that you use your voice for change and you step up. You say that I'm going to take the time to use my voice, to use my platform to inspire other people. It's just that initiative to step up and own who you are.
Good. Miss Priscilla, what does it mean to you? Miss Priscilla, you're still
Oh,
okay.
am I muted?
Now
You're
you're good.
Oh,
Yes,
okay. Sorry about that. So owning your mic to me means that you are going to take control of every platform, every situation, every place you're in. You're going to confidently speak, share your voice, give all you have to it. Take control of your platform that you're given. We all have a purpose and a plan, and so you are going to take control wherever you are, and you're going to use your voice to make a difference, make an impact, and um, own it.
there you go.
I love it. I love it.
Mom.
Well, you know what? I agree with these two fabulous ladies taking every opportunity to use your voice, because for so long women were silenced, but we will not be silenced anymore. But I will also say making space for other women to use their voice. Sometimes we have louder voices in the room. Sometimes I'm one of them, but we need to sometimes move over to allow someone else to have an opportunity to speak their truth.
I love it. And to me, owning your mic means even when things around you are going haywire, no matter what you might be going on personally, when you know that you've been called and equipped to share what you know God has put on your heart to share, regardless of how scary it might be, regardless of how embarrassing it might be, because you thought that whatever you went through was going to deter you from being able to continue to do what God's called you to do. You just have to know that because you are God's, you're owned by God, He's got you at the end of the day. And so with that said, we don't want to waste any more time, but I do have one thing. Mom, Miss Priscilla, how have you all been able to continue to help not only Kaylin and I, but our siblings as well with learning how to use our voices?
Priscilla, you want to start or you want me to start? Okay, so I'll say this, and I alluded to it earlier. I know in our generation, we were taught that young ladies were seen and not heard. You all know I had a problem with that, right? All my life. So I wanted to ensure that my daughters knew that they had a voice. They were given 2 ears and 1 mouth, right? 2 ears to listen and 1 mouth to speak truth to power. If they had something that needed to be said, they were supposed to use that voice. Right. God gave them a voice for a reason. And most often than not, it's to help someone else. So when you use your voice for other people, it also gives other women and girls, they see that power, and that gives them permission to be their true, authentic selves. So that's what I've done. Always tried to make sure that I was a good example for my girls, make sure that the girls in our circle and the women in our circle also knew that we had their back and that they should be able to use their voice as well. But we just encouraged them to use what was in them and let it come up. Speak, use your voice. That's why you have it.
I love it. Miss Priscilla.
Absolutely, I agree. And the same thing, you know, I mean, I think it's important that our young ladies understand the power of their voice, and they learn that at an early age, so that, you know, they're not silenced in the things that they do. You know, I mean, everybody has an opinion. And so I want my girls to know and to understand that your opinion is important. Everybody's not going to have the same opinion, but if you have one and it's good, you know, it's important that you offer that to others, you know. And so I don't want them to ever allow anybody to silence them or to make them feel like they should not use their voice for what it's needed for, you know. And so it's very important to me. And I love it because even myself at their ages, you know, I wasn't as bold as they are, as confident as they are, but to be able to see and to pour into them and help them to understand that, no, God gave you a voice. And those that know Kaylin, she's been talking since she came out, like literally ever since she came out. But one thing I've always said is it's good when you can talk and have something to say. You know, when you don't have anything to say and you're talking, you're just making noise. But when you have something that you can say that will impact people's lives, that becomes the most important thing. And so I'm instilling in her and mine, don't ever let anybody silence your voice, because you have something to say.
I love it.
Yes.
And that especially is important for us to keep in mind. Like, if you know that it's kind, if you know that it is truthful, if you know that it is helpful, never be ashamed to share what you have to say. And with that said, we've got to keep the conversation going. We have a great lineup of special guests, and I know that our viewers are so excited to hear their takes on these mic hot topics. So our very first introduction will be none other by my mom, who's going to introduce one of her best friends, Miss Anisha Thomas.
So it's my pleasure to introduce a colleague, a friend, and someone who has become a part of my circle of sisters. Miss Anitra Thomas is the mother of 2 incredible daughters, Faith and Amaria. She's employed with Leon County government as the Employee Engagement Coordinator. And she's from Palm Beach County, you all. She's a TCC Women's History awardee, and she has just been named one of Tallahassee Democrats' 25 women you need to know. So, Anitra, we're looking forward to your segment entitled Don't Drop the Mic. Introducing my sister, Anitra.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. So when you all spoke to me about the topic of don't drop your mic, one of the first things that came to my mind was don't waste your moment. Too often we have these opportunities that are placed in front of us and we think, oh, we shy away from it because we don't feel like we should be the one speaking on that. So what we have to always remember is don't waste the moment that's been given to you. Also, that came to me was don't allow life's challenges to cause you to waste that moment. Oftentimes we go through things in life that will make you feel like you can't get past it, but you can. You have to push through. And even in that pushing through, you still have to use the voice that God is giving you. He's allowed you to go through those things in life so that you could, one, learn from it, but also help the next person that may be coming up to that obstacle. If you've been able to survive it, you can help push someone else to survive it. So you want to take that opportunity to use your voice to do that. And though things may shake you, though things may knock you down, my pastor brought to our attention recently that, you know, oftentimes we want to run away from our scars. but we should learn to embrace our scars as those medals of honor that we have made it through. We have come through what has been brought to us, and God is pushing us to do that and making sure that we are able to be that voice in the community. We are able to be that voice for the children that we're raising. We're able to be that voice for those that don't feel like they can speak for themselves at the time. We can be that voice for them, and that allows for them to build that strength and that courage to move forward. It took people speaking for me when I didn't feel I was worthy and when I didn't feel like I could speak, to be able to see what they saw in me, for me to be able to see it within myself. And then I, in turn, am able to do that for others that are coming behind me. So you want to make sure that you just don't waste that opportunity, and that you know that your purpose is your purpose. Yeah. And your purpose is not going to be the same level that the next person you're looking at's purpose is. Everybody's purpose is not going to be on a grand scale. Some people are going to have small jobs that they need to do, but it takes all of us doing the work that God has instilled in us to do to make life be what it's supposed to be, and in his honor and his glory. So as long as you're doing that and you're not allowing everyone else to put you in a corner or say what you're supposed to say or do what you're supposed to do, especially as women, we oftentimes let society tell us what we're supposed to be like, what level we're supposed to be pursuing. But your level and your pursuit is based on what God has designed for you. So as long as you're doing what he has designed for you, it doesn't matter what society is doing. And it doesn't matter if other people don't feel like you're on the level that they feel they think you should be on. You're supposed to be on the level that God has placed you. And so as long as you're doing that and you're speaking from your heart, you're speaking from the passion that he's given you, you're doing everything you can to serve your purpose in this world and leave the impact and the legacy that you're supposed to leave. So we have to, from young to old, know that our voice is still matters. While we're here on this earth and while we have breath in our bodies, we're supposed to be speaking our voice, and that's what we have to do. So don't waste that moment. Don't drop your mic means don't waste that opportunity to leave an impact on the next person.
Brilliant,
on
beautiful,
now.
and grand.
That was just the
Yes,
first one,
girl.
man. I'm dropping the mic in a good way, Miss Anitra. We appreciate you. Okay,
I see you, sis. I see you. All of you.
It was a worthy mic drop
it
in the
was a
right
word.
way. In
Yes,
the right
it was.
way.
Yes,
Thank you so
yes,
much, Miss
yes.
Anitra, for your time.
You're getting
appreciate
all the
you.
snaps.
And-
All the snaps.
And you know what, Mom? We have another special young lady who wants to share how we need to use our mics for good. Kaylin, can you introduce who our next special guest is?
Come on, Kaylin.
It would be my honor. So we have none other than Miss Amaya Wayman, one of my close friends, but she is just an amazing young woman in our community. She actually as well was just awarded with the title of one of the 5 young women to watch. Woo, woo, woo. And so she is doing an amazing job of just getting and partnering with the youth and community, especially with her organization, the Real Girl Flow, where she is trying to stop period poverty, in our communities, and just helping those young girls in our communities to know that they are heard and that they have people there for them. So come on, Miss Amaya.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, girl.
Okay, so owning your mic. Owning your mic, I really had to think about this because I was like, okay, how should I approach this? I have always been able to use my mic for good. You know, honestly, I never really put my mic down, and that's the truth. Because I realized that despite things that are going on, you still have to be able to use your voice no matter what. You may see that many people may have this agenda going on, but you have to be able to always continue to stay on your agenda because you'll be able to finish out and find your prize that God has for you. I'm a true believer in asking and you shall receive it. With that being said, you have to understand that making sure that you're able to use your voice no matter what presence, area, venue you're at. Because if you don't, there won't be any change that's happening. If I wasn't able to use my voice like I needed to, I wouldn't have made the impact that I made here in the community and other communities and in the schools that I needed to make. Thank you.
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much, Amaya. And you're absolutely right. Regardless of your age, you have something to share. And with that said,
Can I say one thing?
go ahead, Mama. Use your mic.
Thank you very much
your
for
mic.
that. Thank you very much. So what I'm loving, and Priscilla said this earlier, I am loving the passion and the fierceness that our young people, especially our girls, have been showing. And I will tell you, Miss Amaya is just very, very low key with everything. But because of her initiatives, young women can get those special care products that we need as ladies at every Leon County school here, y'all. Every Leon County school here. She is a bad young woman. So kudos to you, girlfriend. I am
Thank
a
you.
fan. Kaylin already knows I'm part of her fangirl club, but I am also part of yours, Miss Amaya.
Yes.
So kudos to you all. I'm so proud of you all. Using your mic for good and for change and to help others in the community. So thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I mean, I'm having so much fun, you all. And I am super excited that I get to introduce our next special guest, Dr. Asha Fields Brewer. Okay, the one and only Dr. Asha, who's a creator of Healthy Conversations. She's a national speaker, educator, and published author, and she teaches the busy and overwhelmed how to live life abundantly. She hosts the Temple Fit with Dr. Asha radio show on Hallelujah 95.3 FM and the Good Health for Busy People podcast. Her latest book, Overflow, discusses 6 strategies to beat burnout and reclaim your abundant life. Dr. Asha is the CEO and founder of the Temple Fit Company Wellness Education and Events Agency, which teaches busy students and professionals how to stress less and achieve more. She is also the founding director of the faith-based health nonprofit organization Temple Fit Health Inc. A few recent recognitions for her contributions include being listed as one of Tallahassee's 25 Women You Need to Know in 2021 by the Tallahassee Democrat newspaper, and more recently, recognized as a 2022 Black History Calendar honoree by Tallahassee Community College. Here's Dr. Asha's take on the health and wellness mic topic entitled Mic Check 1, 2.
All right now. Turn on your mic. Unmute yourself, Dr.
Oh,
Asha.
unmute. Oh, I'm not muted. Oh no. I don't know why.
You're fine now. Go ahead. You're fine.
Unmute yourself, Doc.
I wasn't muting myself, but can you hear me now? You can hear me now? Awesome. Well, I said my mic sounds nice, check 1, but clearly nobody heard my mic sounding nice. Maybe my mic sounded quiet. But I'm glad that I did not wear that same green dress tonight, Miss Paula. I didn't know you were showing the calendar. Almost wore that same dress, but I wore white instead. But oftentimes when we think about our mics, I want to thank you all for sharing your mics with me, first of all. And when we think about our mics, I go back to MC Light. I don't know how much I'm dating myself with that, but I just remember her going, my mic sounds nice, check 1. My mic sounds nice, check 2, right? And so when we're listening to that, it's not just a call, it's also about response. So when you're checking your mic, you're checking for feedback. You have to be intentional about feedback. I know y'all have sat in under somebody's sermon. You've been in somebody's program, and that feedback, yeah, and it just hits your ear, and you like, now I know they hear this. They don't hear this, and they keep walking closer to the speaker. Like, is it me? Is it? Yes, it's you. You are the reason we hear all of this feedback. And so what I want to encourage you to do is take a moment to pause, check your mic, and make sure the feedback ain't you. So you need to check your 6 cups. There are 6 strategic cups for well-being. And you need to pause and look at each cup and say, is there feedback coming from this cup? Is it distracting from my message? I want my mic to be clear. Is there feedback coming from this cup? Is it distracting from my message? I want my mic to be clear. I'm going to drive past through each cup, and I want you to consider each of those questions. Your physical cup. If you got a cup in the area, wave your cup, wave your cup.
your physical cup. So that's, thank you. Wave your two cups in the building. Thank you. So your physical cup is about rest, exercise, what you're eating, and your hygiene. So at the end of the day, you can ask yourself, what kind of feedback? If you are having a headache every day, that's not because you lack Advil in your system. Your bloodstream don't need no more Advil. That's called feedback. So you need to listen to that feedback and respond. Or your spiritual cup that has to do with your beliefs, your values. If you are connected to a certain person, a friend, maybe a family member, and every time they come around, your spirit is a little bit disturbed, that is not acid reflux. That's called feedback. You might not share the same values. So you need to check that feedback. Or maybe we look at the intellectual cup that has to do with your creative skills and your abilities and how you flow in different spaces. If every time you drive by a painting with a twist, you're like, oh, I miss painting, but I don't have the time to do it anymore. Oh, that's called feedback. It's not that you don't have the time, it's that you're not managing your time to include your creative flow. Or if we look at our mental and emotional cup, that has to do about processing our feelings and creating space for others to process their feelings as well. If you're ready to turn up on some people every once in a while, that's not because they are aggravating you. That's because you ain't listening to your feedback. You have a boiling pot over here and the top is on. If you're always trying to ignore and say, you know what, it's good, it's good, it's good, eventually that pot will boil over. Listen to your feedback before you blow your top. Or if we look at now our fifth cup, when we're looking at our career and finance, I'm gonna let that one marinate a second. Career and financial cup. Now, some of y'all, every Monday you wake up and you're like, oh, this place again. Boy, these people. And Friday at noon, you are counting down. Like, they're going to be lucky if I stay till 4:45. That's called feedback. It may be time to learn some new skills. Take advantage of any professional development training. Take advantage of any opportunities to move laterally so at least you can get away from some of those nosy people in your office. Whatever you need to do, listen to that feedback. And then lastly is your social wellness cup. So that has to do with healthy relationships. If you got somebody that's always draining your energy, I mean, maybe you've known her since high school, but sis, that's called feedback. You're not obligated to everyone in your space. It's an opportunity to learn about you and to learn about them and determine, do you need a little extra space? Just like with our mic that was messing up with the feedback, you might need a little extra space. I can love you from a distance. High five from over there. So I want to ask you all, as you're checking your mic, my mic sounds nice, check one. My mic sounds nice, check two. Check for that feedback. Take a moment every single week, slide through each of those 6 cups and say, has this cup been giving me any feedback? So you can work your way back into overflow.
We're dropping the mic again in a good way. Oh, it's the feedback for me. It's the feedback for me. Oh, that was good. The 6 cups and check your feedback.
After this, I'm gonna drink some water and check on my feedback system. That's what I'm going to have to do.
Check out some of those relationships she's talking about. But and you saw me clutching my purse.
I did.
It's okay, Dr. Asha. We gonna talk, girl. We gonna talk 6 cups.
And you know, I really appreciate her bringing up work because, believe it or not, this whole imposter syndrome topic has really become that new thing that we talk about. So, Mom, could you please introduce our next guest, Miss Nicole Everett, who's going to talk about behind the mic, overcoming imposter syndrome.
Y'all, it is my pleasure to introduce the host of Conversations with Nicole. She's another sister from another mother and a Leadership Tallahassee colleague. You can find Nicole all over the airways sharing vital information that's critical for our everyday lives. She is especially interested right now in our overall physical and mental health. She's been having a lot of fabulous speakers come on her show every week. So you need to tune in if you haven't. She is an advocate, servant leader, and someone I am pleased to call a friend. I'm looking forward to hearing you discuss behind the mic overcoming imposter syndrome, Miss Nicole. Conversations with Nicole. Woo woo.
Hey. Greetings, greetings. Thank you so much, my sister friends, for having me on with you today. We are talking about our mics and imposter syndrome. So, for those of you who may not be familiar with what that is, it is an internal experience of believing that you are not as competent as others perceive you to be. It is rooted in a psychological pattern of perfectionism and also speaks around being undeserving of achievements and high esteem. Now, I will say that this is something that I have struggled with and still do from time to time because while Conversations with Nicole, I believe, is my labor of love, it is not something that I ever imagined that I would be doing. And so sometimes I can participate in unhealthy comparisons. So that is number one. Unhealthy comparisons where we are looking at others and saying, oh man, I should be doing what they're doing. Or, you know, I'm not getting whatever accolades that they are receiving. And we need to be staying in our own lane and being on purpose with what we have to do. The second thing that can cause us to participate in that imposter syndrome is negative self-talk, right? I think especially as African American women, we can be challenged in that way. In the workplace, we may, when we do try to lift our voice, may be labeled as an angry Black woman or one that's difficult to get along with. And not only in the workplace, but in relationships as well. Sometimes we are labeled in that way. The other thing that I want to mention is that sometimes we can be trying to do too many things and walking outside of our purpose. So we need to focus on our purpose, our gifting, our talents. And while purpose may not be singular, I don't think it's singular. I think sometimes we can spread ourselves too thin. And as I'm talking to y'all, I'm talking to me, um, trying to do so many things for so many people. And so I would say unhealthy comparisons, negative self talk, and walking outside of your purpose are some major contributors to taking on that imposter syndrome. It's really mental. So, mindset is very important. As Paula said, we are focusing on mental health on Conversations with Nicole currently on Mondays and Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. And mindset is everything. Mindset matters. So we've got to affirm ourselves positively. We've got to stay focused on our purpose and not participate in those comparisons. Not participate in those comparisons. So as I prepare to back away from my mic for now, I want to give a shout out to all of the girls whose report cards growing up read that you talk too much, because I was one of those. Look, I did real good academically, but that conduct was always a U, unsatisfactorily, because I was talking. I love to talk to people. So let your voice be heard, as has already been stated by the sisters that have gone before me and our wonderful host tonight. And do it in a way such that your message can come across clearly. So be intentional and be kind, and sometimes you have to be a little forceful with it, but do it in love, truth and love. That's what I recommend, truth and love, and eliminate that imposter syndrome. Thank you.
Love it.
Yes.
Ooh, Miss Nicole, every time I feel like I hit y'all bands get
A little better.
absolutely.
But I felt that whole report card thing deeply. I got in so much trouble, Nicole. So much trouble. And I'm a firm believer that your gifts will make room. The Lord will make sure that He puts everything in you that you're supposed to have to do His work. And when they kept saying, Paula, be quiet, Paula, be quiet, Paula, be quiet, I was just practicing
doing
what
his
I
work.
need to do now.
Yes, ma'am.
Me now. So thank you for that, my sister.
You are welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And you know what? We've got to keep this mic toss going. Miss Priscilla, can you please introduce our next special guest who's going to talk about being the queen of the mic, Miss Christy Kennedy?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Christy Kennedy, who is the image confidence expert at a TEDx Audacious Leadership keynote speaker and an authentic lifestyle author. As the owner of Queenfidence Global Image Consulting, her electrifying inspirational gift empowers visionaries with confidence and clarity, keys to find their voice, free their voice, and look fabulous using their voice. She specializes in 4 areas of peak performance: mindset mastery, massive momentum, magnetic messaging, and potential maximization. She is a certified radical resilience trainer who builds powerhouse mindsets equipped for success. Christy's evocative teaching style elevates your self-perception from stuck to unstoppable, invisible to invincible, and timid to tenacious. Her bodacious belief is a testament that you can shift from mediocrity to magnificence, one daring action step at a time. I introduce to you all Christy Kennedy Ward.
Hello, hello, hello. Thank you so much, ladies. It's an absolute honor to be here on tonight to light it up some more. I've been eating real good, so I honor all the queens that have gone before me. Tonight, I want to talk about the power in your voice. One of my favorite quotes is, "No one is you, and that is your power." No one is you, and that is your power. It took me decades to figure out this one little thing. So I want you to get it earlier than I did. No one is you, and that is your power. The very thing that we're running from, our uniqueness, our story, our pain. And I want you to think about this. I want you to go in your mind's eye, and I want you to remember the time that you were your most insecure self. What age were you? I want you to think about that. Because at that age, I want you to think about why you have to use your voice, why it's imperative to use your voice. Your voice cannot operate without your permission. And what we allow, we will continue. So think about that age. I was 18. I just arrived at FSU. And as a freshman in my communication class, I remember we all had to present a message in front of our peers. And when I stood before the class, I often say I had the cotton ball effect because it felt like a bunch of cotton balls were stuffed in my mouth and nothing would come out. And it was this one word that keeps us back from using our voice and owning the mic: fear. That 18-year-old girl, that's the one I use my voice for, because she didn't have the tools that I have today. She didn't understand that it was going to be her voice that was going to unlock opportunity after opportunity. She didn't understand that all the pain she experienced as a young child, watching her parents argue and fight, and she didn't know what to do, but she began writing in a journal to make sure she didn't lose her own mind. I'm fighting for that young girl and all the young girls out there that are confused in their mind, because see, often women think that they have to have confidence in order to be able to use their voice. I often say that confidence is key, but it's not the only key. Because what happened when I didn't have the confidence to use my voice? I had to find something that was bigger than confidence. And how I was able to step outside of myself, ladies, it was compassion. When I began to feel the pain of others, that somebody else is in a prison also, I had to use my voice. It was no longer optional. It was imperative. And Diana Hardy said, one voice at the right pitch can start an avalanche. Just one voice at the right pitch can start an avalanche. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to shake some things up with my voice. Because for many years, I didn't use it. For many years, I wasn't helping unlock the prison doors to others that were bound. And so I'm going to give you a few questions. Why do you want to speak? Where do you want to speak? What do you want to speak about? Because where there is no purpose, there is no power. And think about the location where you're going to speak. Who's going to hear your voice? Some women don't want to be on camera, and that's absolutely okay. But I'm going to tell you, I'm looking at my inbox right now in my mind's eye, and there is money for doing a 10-minute message on video camera for a virtual summit. See, what I'm telling you is that I put my voice on camera, and all of a sudden this week, I get an opportunity to speak in Washington, D.C. because the lady found me on camera on YouTube. I don't have a publicist, but your gift will make room for you. It will open doors that no man can shut. And see, often people come to me and they say, but how? How do I get started? When your why is big enough, you will figure out the how. But where there is no purpose, there is no power. So I want you to remember, owning your mic means owning your voice. Owning your voice means owning your valley experiences. Owning those valley experiences means owning your truth. And the truth is not pretty. The truth can be just downright ugly. Who wants to look at it? But when you own your verity, which is truth, you stand in a power that nobody can take away from you. So why do you want to speak? Where do you want to speak? To whom do you want to speak? When will you speak? And I'm going to leave you with this. I'm only speaking because somebody else dared to speak. I can still see my second grade teacher imparting into me when my mother was working 2 and 3 jobs. I can still see the guidance counselor believing in me so I could go to college. I could see my mother saying, you can do anything you put your mind to. I can hear one of my business mentors saying, how long will you keep the people waiting? How long will you keep the people waiting? All of your insecurities, all the stories you keep telling yourself that no longer serve you. I can hear one of the pastors saying, one day your mind is going to make you a lot of money. And I'm here to testify that 100% of my revenue comes from speaking, from coaching, writing, speaking on camera, radio, you name it, 100% from using my voice. So own your voice and use it, even if it trembles, even if your knees shake. I'm going to tell you, after 20 years of public speaking, I still get nervous. I still feel the cotton mouth. But what happens? I now have clarity of thought. I only have this moment and I own it. I have confidence and I have compassion. So when my confidence is shaky, you best believe there is a compassion that compels me to speak. Now, the question I leave you with, who are you going to make proud? Don't let her down. Thank you, lady.
Woo! I feel like we went to church. Look here now. Wait a minute. See that.
Yes.
We're gonna have to do this again.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I know our viewers, y'all better be taking notes, okay? I always say to the waiters on the podcast, y'all need to grab a pen and a pad to take down these notes. I know I need to make sure to rewatch this.
I know.
And you know what? We're doing something different with this live stream. So for everyone who's tuning in, if you have questions for our guests, please drop them in the chat because we are going to have our guests come back to address some of your questions. So now is a time where if you know you have something pressing that you want to ask, don't miss out on this, okay? And to continue this church, because I'm feeling it, Miss Priscilla, can you please introduce our next guest, Dr. Judy Mandrell, speaking about hashtag Dream Build with your mic in your hands.
Yep,
Sister girl!
Yes, sister girl. Again, I have the great pleasure of introducing none other than Dr. Judy Mandrell. She is the host of the Real Talk with Judy live radio show on Hallelujah 95.3. She is also the founder of the Sister Girls Network, the Real Talk Sister Girls Network that is popping and on right here in Tallahassee and abroad. She is the proud wife of the visionary and anointed teacher, pastor, superintendent Gerald Mandrell of Life Changers Church of God in Christ, where I am a proud member. She is so much to so many. I could go on and on. Go to her bio, www.realtalkwithjudy.com. Get all of it. It's a whole long list of all the accolades and everything. But she is a dream builder. She is one who will help you to find your dream, build your dream, push you. She's a pusher, motivator, encourager, all of that. And without further ado, I'm going to bring her on so she can go ahead and tell us how to build our dream holding the mic.
Good afternoon. Thank you all so very much. It is indeed an honor to be here. And I do have my pen and paper, taking good notes. And to all of the ladies who have gone before me, absolutely powerful. And to the great hosts, thank you all so very much. Listen, so build your dream with your mic in hand. And one of the things, Priscilla, that I want to say to everybody, color your own mic. Color your own mic. Put whatever color you want on your mic, because one of the greatest means of getting your dream recognized and built is your voice. And one of the greatest instruments to use to magnify your voice is the microphone. Which one? The one in your hand. You have to put that microphone in your hand. One of the things I want to say, build your dream with your voice. I think I heard somebody else say that. Your voice is powerful. One of the greatest things you have right now going for you is your voice. Is your voice. Own your voice. Be proud of your voice. Number one, be yourself. Every last one of us is different. And one of the things that you have to understand, it is absolutely important that your voice is heard. Don't try to mimic anyone else. Don't try to change your voice. Don't try to make your voice sound like anyone else, because when it comes through this microphone, it needs to be so distinct that when you're talking, when you're speaking, they know that's you. So many times I've been in the store and people would turn around and they would say, Dr. Judy, yes, I know your voice. Make your voice distinct, make it recognizable, make it so that they can hear it, all right, and understand it. Believe in your dream. Believe in your dream. If nobody else believes in it, you believe in it. Talk to yourself. Practice your dream in your mind. Man, see yourself fulfilling your dream. See yourself making it happen. Okay, know that your dream and what you have to offer is valuable. You got to know that. This is the question I ask myself. Judy, would you buy what you're selling? Would you participate in what you're participating in? Do you believe in, if you was not over Sister Girl, would you be a part of it? Will you be a part of it? Do you believe your dream? Okay, number 3, your story, dream, and voice are unique for others to hear. And I heard somebody say this, and I love to say this. You got to show up for yourself. You have to show up for your own dream. You cannot wait on others to show up for you. You show up for your own dream and be vigilant and not losing your voice. Hold your mic. I got a gold one. I'm going to have a red one. I'm going to have a purple one. I'm going to have a blue one. So whatever stage I'm on, I have my own mic. And guess what? If the cord is not long enough, I got a 25 feet cord, Priscilla, so I can take my mic wherever I go. And if their mic don't work, y'all hear me. I got, Priscilla, a little PA system, because one thing I understand, I'm building my dream with my own voice. Celebrating my own voice. Here it is. Always practice in your own mic. Practice with your own mic. Stand in the mirror and practice. Practice on the street. Practice wherever you go. But let your voice come through your mic. My favorite color is gold. My favorite color is gold. It's really black, but gold. And I am getting one that I'm painting. This is painted. And it's going to be painted gold and black. Why? Because that's me. Make your voice, make your mic yours. Hear me what I'm telling you, and don't allow other people to practice in your mic. My time is far spent. I want to thank you all so very much for this opportunity. This is Real Talk. I see you in the future, and we're talking better than we ever talked before. That's Real Talk.
Yes.
Come on
now.
Come through, Sister Judy. Come through.
I need to go find me another mic.
Pastor Judy told me to get a black bedazzled mic
That's
Yeah.
with a 25-foot cord. That is what I heard deep
Woo,
in my spirit.
That's what's going to make you
Yes.
distinct.
Mhm.
That's going to make
Bedazzled with lots of little crystals
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah,
That's
I can
what
see
I
that for
heard.
you. I can see
Love
that.
it.
And you know what? I'm so sad, co-host, because we're on our last special guest.
But it's gonna be awesome.
It is going to be awesome.
Yes.
So, Kaylin, can you please introduce Miss Danette Mcbride with talking about You Got Your Mic, Now Go Live.
Go live, baby.
Yes, it is my honor. I know her as Gma, but to other people, her name is Miss Danette Mcbride. For her current occupation, she works with the Florida Department of Financial Services as an enterprise applications manager. But besides her work, it is her goal, is her passion to serve God, to serve others. And through that, she has her organization Go Live, where she is saying, go, ladies of intelligence, value, and excellence, where she's teaching us, me, so many other girls to continue to be confident in themselves, confident in their voice, stand up and be the woman that they want to be, learning how to have manners, just the whole nine, trying to make us be the best young women of change and of dynamic leadership and power in our community. So I will let her continue to talk about Go Live, but I introduce to others and reintroduce to many Miss Danette Mcbride. Woo-woo!
Hello, ladies. I'm so excited. Thank you all so much for having me. It's a pleasure and an honor to be on this platform with all these ladies who not only own the mic, but use the mic. Y'all, let's get ready. Let's get set. Let's go live.
Yes.
Hey, ladies, I want everybody to know life is like a movie. Your voice is like the power of your life. You're your own star. It's time to go live. I know you're ready. We've been motivated, we've been influenced, and now we have the courage to be confident. Now that we have the mic, we've got to go live and be live. Maximize the beauty of who you are, building your dreams for the future, but maximizing and using your present day. You're the star. It's your movie. It's your series, lady. You be you. Be the best you can be. You got to be live, a lady, elegant, but yet strong, honey. Know your place, know who you are, and know your voice. You got to have intelligence. Know what you know, but it's okay because you have to know what you don't know. As you speak, ladies, speak what you know. Speak you. Live and live loud. Your voice matters, and what you know and what you have to say is about being live beyond Facebook, beyond Instagram, beyond TikTok. Your life is a living movie of itself. Be live, go live. The beauty is inside and it needs to come out and be heard. Yes, we are not only seen, Miss Paula, we heard. You got to be heard with intelligence so you can be respected for not only who you are, but what you say, because the microphone of your life is power. You got to have that confidence of knowing every opportunity you have to walk this walk and talk this talk. Take it. Take it, my sister. Take it, my mother. Take it, my daughter. Take it, my auntie. Take it, my cousin. Take the opportunity. You matter. Be intelligent about what you know. Think big and dream big. Cultivate your thinking and know what you are saying. Then understand your value, honey. There's no price tag to your voice. There's no price tag to your life. You are absolutely priceless. And I say it again, you and your voice, who you are, what you have to say is live and absolutely priceless. We can't rewind and we can't fast forward. The power is in your present. Live it, walk it, and stay alive. Ladies, you got to be excellent beyond the norm. It's time out for mediocrity. Be your best you. Your biggest competition is you. Be your best today. Be better than your tomorrow, your yesterday, and then be better tomorrow. One of my favorite quotes, and I wrote this myself, is even your best has room for better. Every day is an opportunity to be the better you. Beat your yesterday self. We're not in competition, sisters. Our voices magnified together will impact and change the entire world. So just be the best you that you can be. And since we have the mic in our hand, y'all know, anybody who knows me, I love affirmations. So I need you to repeat after me. Everybody, get your own mic. Get your life and repeat after me and say, with this mic in my hand, I am my number one fan. God made me this way, and it's perfectly okay. I am the best me that there will ever be. This is my moment. This is my time. I'm ready. I'm set. And I'm live. Come on, say it. I go live. I'm a lady of intelligence, confident in what I know. I go live. I'm a lady of value, courageous enough to let my light and my life glow. Say it, I go live. I'm a lady of excellence, committed to push beyond the norm as I grow. Come on, say it, I go live. I go live. Come on, somebody, say, I am live. This is my show. This is my life. This is my movie. I'm confident in the characters that I write in and I write out. Why? Because it's my mic, it's my life, and I go live. Ladies, I know you've been motivated and I know you've been influenced. I know you have courage now and be confident to go live in every area of your life. Let your voice and your life and your beauty be heard. And I'll say this last thing. This is another one of my own quotes. I love them, but I write them too. Beauty needs no makeup. Your beauty and your voice just needs to wake up every day. Wake it up, go live, be live, because it's your life, it's your mic, and it's your time. Go live, my dears.
Oh Lord,
We live and living live over here. Yes, queen. Yes.
Oh my.
Go live. I am live. I don't need no makeup. I just need to wake up. I need to write some affirmations. I love it, Danette. I love it.
Thank you so much. Oh
Woo,
my goodness.
I'm live. You live?
I'm always live, but I'm liver.
You liver.
Okay, after that, man. Listen, I appreciate each and every one of our special guests. Y'all blew me away.
She said she's slain in the spirit. I'm with you, Christy. I am done from Anitra all the way through to the end with Danette. I'm just feeling it.
Yeah.
I am feeling it.
Yes. And I mean, again, if you all have any questions for our special guests, please go ahead and drop them in the chat for us. We just want to make sure that everyone who's tuning in has the opportunity to hear directly from the special guests with any questions. Kaylin, I'll let you take it away.
Well, when I tell you, this has been amazing. I mean, to see all these amazing women in the community, all these incredible, dynamic, trailblazing, just those words, when you hear all those different things come out, you know they're making a difference. You know they're not just here waiting. They're taking the initiative to use their mic, to own their mic, and to be their mic, to be able to stand up in front of people, to tell them that I believe in what I'm saying. I can speak correctly. I can do the things that God has told me to do. It's just amazing to see that. And then when you're sitting there, like other people saying, owning your mic and being excellent and going live, you have to always remember that once you're at that moment, once you have your mic, to remain humble. I know every time that I'm doing things with Kaylin's Caring Connection or with Inspiring Moments with Kaylin, the constant thing that my mom tells me that I hear from God is to remain humble, to constantly thank him for giving me this voice to be able to own my bike and to be able to say the things that God has given me to say. But I have to always make sure that I remain humble, that I encourage other people to own their mic, that I encourage other people to never be afraid of allowing those different negative comments or those naysayers to tell them that you can't do anything that you put your mind to. Because as long as you believe and as long as you know within yourself that you can do anything, you are on track to own your own mic.
Yes.
Yes,
I
yes.
love everything about that, Kaylin.
Thank you.
She is really owning her mic this evening, as she does weekly.
Yes,
I'm just saying,
ma'am.
I'm a fan. Miss
Yes.
Priscilla, tell me what you thought about tonight.
Tonight was absolutely phenomenal. All of these ladies, I've just been snapping and snapping, and as if fate would have it, my computer went out. But I am so empowered and inspired by each and every one of these ladies that were on tonight, and just yeah, I mean, this here group right here, we couldn't get any better. Could not get any better. And so this has been absolutely phenomenal. I do hope that everybody that's listening has gained something that they will take and use their voice wherever you are, in your community, in your home, in your church, wherever you are. Use your voice. Use it. God gave it to us for a reason. Let's make the difference. Let's go live.
Go live. I love it. And I'll say this, I want to applaud you. I think that it's important. We I don't think we pat each other on the back enough. When Zemoria talked about doing this broadcast, so I'm just gonna be honest. I was like, number one, how you gonna get all these ladies on a Saturday? And it's been less than 3 weeks. How are you gonna get this rock star lineup that you're talking about getting? So, I didn't say it, but I was thinking it because I don't want to be a naysayer, right? Not for your child, right?
Right.
I want to be positive and speak life. But I was like, Lord, I hope her feelings aren't hurt. And look at what happened, but God. And everything that every speaker had to say, and I mean every speaker, Anitra, Amaya, Dr. Asha, Nicole, Christy, Dr. Judy, Danette, Kaylin, Priscilla, every word that every one of you ladies had to say was dropped in my spirit. I needed to hear every word from you. Because someone, I think that it was, that's a question. I think sometimes when we're out here doing this work and listening to the Heavenly Father and we're trying to be obedient, and sometimes we're scared, sometimes we're nervous, sometimes we don't understand why He's asking us to do things that sometimes seem impossible. But what I've learned is to be obedient. Yeah. And even in what this monumental task that I'm doing right now, I knew I was tired. I knew that there was a lot of other work that I needed to do. But then my daughter said, Ma, I want to do this. I think it's going to be important. And look what happens when you're obedient. Look what happens when you are following Him and everything lines up exactly the way it's supposed to. So thank you for being obedient and being an example for your mama. Because while your mama is tired, all of this filled me up tonight. So thank you, ladies, for your authenticity, your transparency. And I see there's a question in the chat.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring our speakers back in, and Dr. Judy said that this is television ready. Television ready.
Thank you, Doc. That means a lot. No, Dr. J gave you the TV quote.
Television ready.
And to read the question for everybody, if you can't see it, it says, how do you use your mic when others are intent on muting it? I can go ahead and start and say that I've had people constantly tell me a lot of times, you talk a lot. I mean, everybody knows, even my mom says, everybody knows I've been talking since I came out the womb. And so I've had a lot of people to constantly say, you do all this talking and you do all this encouragement, but why do you keep going? Why should you keep talking? And my main thing is God gave me the voice to. I mean, when I was little, they literally told my mom that the umbilical cord was stuck around my neck. The devil tried to get me at birth. And so ever since seeing that, I constantly decided that since I have this voice and since I have these empowering words to say, I'm going to use it. I'm not going to allow people to silence me, even when you have those naysayers who constantly say, why are you doing this and why are you doing that? You just got to continue to do it. You got to let that negativity fuel you and keep going.
Anybody else want to challenge it? Dr. Judy?
Oh, yes. What's the question? How do you use your mic when others are intent on muting it? Dr. Asha, you keep changing mics. I mean, you keep using your other mic, right? And you speak to those who are listening. Those who mute, I have learned that those who are muting you, they're not ready yet. But those who keep their mic unmuted so they can hear you, so you can be heard, they're ready for it. Because we got something to say. But just keep changing mic, change the channel, because your voice is worth hearing.
Yes. Anybody else want to answer that one?
I'll go next. Okay, so you have to be able to speak louder, just like I did right then and there. Being able to speak up and say what you need to be out and get what you need to say. Because when others are trying to mute your mic, you just have to keep speaking because soon they'll hear it. Just because they're muting it doesn't mean that they don't hear you. They are still listening to you. And you also have to remember, I think Miss Christy Ward mentioned this earlier about how if there's something that's being said or something that's being done, it's not going to be stopped because God's not going to stop that. So you have to continue to pray over your mic to make sure that those that are continuing to mute it, they're still going to hear it and it will come to them one day and it will click with them. Thank you.
Yes. I was going to say conviction will crush the crickets. Conviction will crush the critic. It's going to choke them. They won't have anything to say, and all you're going to have left is silence. So know that your conviction will override the critics and the crickets.
And I would say what God has purposed, no man can silence anyway. So you have to continue to speak. If he's giving you a message to put out there, it doesn't matter what people are trying to do. God has purposed it, so it's going to come through. So you just continue to walk in that purpose, and your message will be heard by the people that need to hear it.
Yes.
And you know what, Anitra, to piggyback on that, I tell people all the time, I'm more scared of God than man. Come on. And obedience really is better than sacrifice. I've been on that receiving end of disobedience many times. I don't like it. So when he says go forth and do, I may ask questions because that's what I do. I'm built that way. God made me. He know what he made. So I will ask questions, but I'm going to do what he says. And I'm going to be okay with the outcome because I know whatever it is for my good. And I have to lean on my faith. That's the thing that keeps me going. So you can try to mute the mic, but I'm more scared of him than you.
There it is.
Period.
Period.
Anyone else?
All right.
We have another question. Yep. Another other question said, would any of the speakers address leveraging the uniqueness of your own voice in the context of collaborative efforts with other powerful voices? Dr. Asha.
Now I know this is my lane, because when you're on a panel, you like everybody doesn't need to respond to every question, but you need to respond to your question. Dr. Banks, this one is my question. I know for sure. So something that I live by is community over competition. And even going back to those cups, I think about that in the career and financial cup all the time, because we often think like everything is mine, right? This is my platform, so I've got to use my platform. Again, it's my mic and my mic sounds nice. However, God sends people to help. So asking for help is a sign of wisdom, not a sign of weakness. So there are times when I'm hearing from other people's mics and I'm like, oh, that sounds nice, right? And so that's an opportunity for me to learn from someone. That's an opportunity for me to connect with someone. Temple Fit has over 35 amazing, fabulous faculty members who are experts in all 6 dimensions of wellness, or all 6 cups that I told you about earlier. It started with my mic. Then I heard Christy's mic. I heard Nicole's mic. I heard Dr. Banks's mic. I heard all these other mics. And God was like, you all can make a chorus. The platform is large enough for all of you because somebody's going to connect with someone else in a different way. How I speak, others, my mic, they may be like, wait a minute, say that again. But for how someone else speaks, it may catch their ear, right? That sound wave catches their ear, and then it inscripts a message on their mind, and then it goes from their mind straight to their heart. So I'm a big proponent of community over competition. If somebody is doing something and you like what they're doing, first you need to appreciate them, let them know, sis, I see you, and you're doing a doggone thing. And then look for ways where we intersect so that we can collaborate and use each other's gifts in a way that uplifts in a synergistic, meaningful way. So definitely pass the mic around.
Absolutely, Dr. Asha. And you have actually been a champion for that, I would like to say. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I have appreciated collaborating with Temple Fit on a number of occasions. I would also say that there's room for everybody. What, as Sister Nitra said, what God has for you is for you. So there's no competition. I like that, community over competition. You know, I am of the mindset that we all have gifts and talents that the world is waiting on, and we cannot sit on those gifts. We need to share them with the world. And I hope my platform is an opportunity for people to share those gifts, those talents, because the world is waiting for what you have to offer. So if we can collaborate, the more the merrier, the better, because the world is waiting for what we have to share. Our voice is important, and our passions are important, and God has purposed us for such a time as this. So again, no community, no competition. It's all about community and collaboration. So let's make it happen.
Yes, 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 yes.
I would like to jump. Go ahead, Danette.
Go ahead.
I would like to jump in on this. Even with, and most of you all participate with it, but the sister girls, there are over maybe 300 powerful women, and all of the voices are powerful. Majority of them have their own business, doing a whole lot of things. But what you do is one of the things, how we leverage the uniqueness. Everybody bring their self to the platform, and we have to celebrate and lift each other up. Okay, with over 400 women participating, Black, white, rich, poor, Republican, Democrat, straight, church women, everybody. But the voices are so powerful, and each one bring their own uniqueness, and they see us lifting each other up. That's why it's taking it by storm in Tallahassee. Even the one we get ready to have March 28th, you got Dana Brooks, who is sponsoring it. You got Barbara Westcott. These women from different other women organizations where there is no competition. And what it is a hub, like a maypole, but everybody know that they bring a certain uniqueness, a certain voice. Nicole and I are both the hosts. We got another radio host. So all of us are on there. In there, but everybody bring their own unique flavor. So it's like eating a mulberry cake or whatever kind of cake, or I'm cake with all that stuff in there, all the different ingredients. But as we blend together, we feel the strength of each other. We feel the strength. We feel the power. So we're leveraging each other, and we're lifting and helping to rise. Each one of us help the cake to rise, right? Each ingredient, each unique piece make that cake so flavorful. And so now you got so many different people who are saying, this has never happened before. And it hasn't, but the Lord did it. And he brings so many voices, so many people of prominence. And then people who are not of prominence coming up and saying, I want to be. And so those of us who there, we help each other up. And there is no competition.
Yeah.
I so agree. Pastor Judy, one of your quotes is, we're better together. And Dr. Banks, you're a singer. When I first heard it, I thought about the idea of there's so much power and intentionality about harmony. And when you're thinking about harmonizing as you sing, there are often people that can do a solo and they're great, but they have such a hard time when it comes to connecting with the group and harmonizing, and not only knowing your part, but keeping your part. Because when you have to harmonize and sing an alto or tenor or soprano or second alto, whatever you're doing, even harmonizing as musicians, you have to not only know your part, but keep your part, keep it in line, because the better you keep your part and actually allow a person on top and on bottom or to the side to harmonize you, it's so much more better. We're so much better together. It makes the song, even the soloists that have a song, even if you go live or when you record it, it's the harmony and it's the maximizing of the music from the organ to the drums to the keys. But harmony takes intentionality. And I believe as women, when we're not competing or anyone, and when our voices are so strong, they're stronger even together. And when we take the opportunity to learn to come outside of the solo and make a group, but the harmonizing of the group, and when we look at different people, there's so much you have to practice for. And you do have to practice. Sometimes if there's needed, I'm that missing piece, because if I can sing all three parts, I can only sing one part at a time, but I can sing the part that's missing. And when I understand the value of who I am, I'm okay to fit in where I'm missing, because my voice is heard in the harmony. I'm a part of it. And it doesn't have to be my voice singled out. It's my voice a part of this movement. And the only way to make an impactful change where we're impacting the entire world beyond just our community, we got to harmonize this mic, harmonize in the mic, and harmonize in our impact, because we have influence in uniquely, but then there's so much more influence that we have collectively as we collaborate our voices and make a harmony. And you talk about a chorus of Dr. Asha, you talking about a choir of life and a choir of power. That's who we are when we collaborate and harmonize our efforts.
I was just saying, get in where you fit in. Ladies, all of this is absolutely amazing. And I understand that collectively the strength of women, when we stop the silos and all that other foolishness out there, we can do so much more together. And the one thing, and I think Pastor Judy has heard me say this many, many times, I think it's phenomenal what you've done with Sister Girls. I couldn't have ever imagined it, but I think that was your lane. I don't think anybody else could have pulled that off. So I appreciate you working in your gifting, and every lady that has spoken up, you already know you're amazing. But just again, to see all of you all displayed here, and I told you in the back of my mind, I didn't think it was going to happen on a Saturday night, right? But it did. Yep. And he made room for it. He made sure that it happened, because you all don't know about the tech stuff that was going on earlier. It was almost a non-starter, but he made sure that we did this. Yeah. But what I want to make sure that we all understand, and I know that I was fed tonight, but I want everyone to know that there's room for everyone. And I think if we remember that everyone has a gift, a talent, a responsibility, and an assignment. Stay in your lane, work your assignment, and do your part. That's the only thing that's going to move us forward as a community. So thank you, ladies, for being awesome and inspiring. You have really, really preached sermons tonight.
Yes.
And I'm going to be quiet, because y'all know what I do. Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
Well, I would just say, as we conclude, my heart is full. Yeah. I'm holding back tears because, like Mom said, there were some technical difficulties, but I knew that just meant that it was going to be fire. Yeah, and it was just that. And again, we want to say, on behalf of Miss Priscilla, Kaylin, my mom, Paula DeBoles-Johnson, and I, Miss Anitra, Miss Amaya, Dr. Asha, Miss Nicole, Miss Christy, Dr. Judy, Miss Danette, thank you all so much for being a part of Own Your Mic, a Women's Empowerment Special in honor of Women's History Month. And I gotta say, I think we have to do this again.
We have to.
I'm having a vision of like having a conference or something. Yes. And so with that said, again, to every young lady, woman that is listening, listen, you have a voice. Use it. Make sure that you share this opportunity with everyone when it comes to, if they did not get to tune in to this live special, make sure you share it. We are going to make it available through all of our own platforms. And with that said, we bid you all an adieu. And as we all own our mics together, peace.
Good night, everybody.
Bye,
Thank you so
y'all.
much.
Thank
You all.
Love you. And I mean it.
Love you all. Thank you.